Hey, skippers. What do you get when you mix relentless positivity, crossrope finesse, cancer survivor grit, and the freestyle flow of a marching band flag queen? You get Laura Davidson, or as the internet knows her, skipping the midlife crisis. In this episode, we chat about retirement freedom, aka more time for mambas, Jump for Joy 100, and how Laura cheers harder than anyone on the sidelines. Her recent Crossrope photo shoot where she rocked the ropeless ropes and that spinny ankle thing from 1987. Why jump rope is brain medicine, bone medicine, and joy medicine. And yes, the music obsession is real. If it's got 170 beats per minute, Laura's probably already skipped to it. We also swap stories about skipping in ski lifts, bruised hands from rogue releases, and why weddings need more shufflers. Laura's living proof that you can start jump rope in your 50s, fall in love with the rhythm, build a global community of jumper friends, and get stronger every day. Her story's one part grit, one part glitter, and all heart. So let's hear it for the woman lifting up skippers across the world and doing it with a smile. Hit play and don't forget to follow the show for more rope-fueled inspiration. Let's go, Laura. Well, Laura Davidson, thank you so much for joining me on the Jump Rope Podcast. I'm just thrilled to have you here. I looked up earlier and you and I have been connected since I joined Instagram and since I created my account in March of 24. And you've been supportive of me ever since. And I've been watching you and being inspired by you ever since. And so I'm so glad to be able to finally get to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you too. I feel like I already know you a little bit. So
yeah, that's what I love about this podcast is getting to know people a little bit more. I just know that like when I finally do make it to a meetup, there's going to be a lot of hugging, you know?
Oh, yes, for sure.
So a couple things I have to tell you that I love about you is your relentless positivity. Like you're so positive and supportive of people all over the globe. And I can't tell you how many times I've been talking to skippers, friends, whether it's on the podcast or not, and your name comes up. People just love you and you provide so much inspiration and you're so positive and helpful and it just comes through in everything you do. So thank you.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love actually finding new jumpers online. I really enjoy watching people's progress and seeing them grow and learn new things. So yeah, I love to follow new people.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of mystified when I joined and people were following me and I was like, wait, you've seen me jump, right? Like I'm not doing anything special here. And people were like, go, you're doing good. And I've learned that as I've gotten a little better, it's fun to watch people who entered at the same point I did and sort of live that feeling of, oh my gosh, yeah, I got a boxer skip. You know, like that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fun to watch people kind of succeed. And yeah, I'm the cheerleader. I'm happy to cheer people on.
Speaking of cheerleader, you were a fantastic cheerleader for Jump for Joy 100, which just ended this last weekend, right?
Yes, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. We had such a big group this time.
Yeah.
It was hard to kind of keep track of everybody, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to see both really seasoned people and brand new jumpers kind of join in together and seeing kind of the experienced people really help the new people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great group.
Yeah. Do you know how many people ended up participating?
I want to say it was like 134, something like that, in
Yeah.
25 countries, I think. So
Yeah. I know the group chat, the first few days I tried to keep up and then I was like, oh my gosh, I might have to shut off notifications here because it's just so much going on, which was great.
Yeah. Yeah. The chat got really busy sometimes. It was definitely hard to keep up. And I tried my best, but yeah, there were some days where I just couldn't scroll back enough to catch up on everybody. But
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. So where are you located in the world?
I'm in the Midwestern United States. I live in Indiana and kind of just central, just north of Indianapolis.
North of Indianapolis. Okay. I haven't
Just
spent a lot of time there. I've been through like Gary, Indiana. I think the most fun I've had in Indiana is in Pawnee with the Parks and Rec folks. Did you ever watch Parks and Recreation?
No, actually haven't.
Oh my gosh, fun show. It takes place in a fictitious Indiana town with a very fun cast, done by the same people that do The Office.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's fun. And so you just retired, is that right?
Yes, just like about 5 weeks ago.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Congratulations. That's got to feel different, huh?
Yes, some newfound freedom. I still kind of feel like I'm just on vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really hasn't sunken in that I'm not going back to work, but I'm actually going back to work to see my work friends actually next week. So
Just for a visit, but not for work.
Just for lunch and a visit.
There
Yeah.
you go. So has your jump rope routine changed yet since you've got more time? Or I'm assuming you have more time?
I have a lot more time. Yes, it has changed a lot. I mean, in 100 days, trying to squeeze in jump rope every day, when you're now we were going into the office quite a bit more. So I have a 45 to an hour commute each way.
Oh, wow.
So, I used to skip when I worked from home in the morning. So that was easy. But now that I'm driving to work or was driving to work, really cut into it. So I'd have to do that in the evening, which I really don't like as much.
Yeah.
But now I have a lot more free time and I'm kind of exploring some different gyms in the area, trying to find, which gym has a good spot for jumping. It's not in everybody's way
Hmm.
and checking some things out on classes and things like that. So I have a
Cool.
lot more flexibility now.
When you say classes, like jump rope related classes or other fitness classes?
I wish. No, just like fitness classes, just to kind of mix it up a little bit and do some
Hmm.
different, get some weight training in. I took a step aerobics class, which I haven't done in like 30 years.
Yeah.
So
Was that
yeah,
fun?
do some different things too.
Yeah. So you're a crossrope athlete.
Yes, yes,
Yes. And you recently were a finalist in their casting call, right?
yes. Crazy. Yes, I was selected as their female participant in the casting call. They had two male winners and myself. And actually, we just were in Raleigh, North Carolina, I think just a week ago. And did all the recording in one day. Lots of video, lots of jumping,
Yeah.
photos. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience.
That's really cool. So are they going to use all of that footage in commercials or in like marketing?
Yes, they'll be using it in their like social media and marketing and different advertisement things like that. And actually, one of the guys that was one of the winners, he actually already is in an ad already. So that
Oh,
was
yeah.
yeah.
Cool. I wonder if I just saw that ad. I got a Crossrope ad served to me earlier, and it was one of the Crossrope guys talking to another guy as if he didn't know what the jump rope was.
No, this one I think is just a still photo.
Okay.
The younger guy holding out the ropes, and it's
Okay.
something like "Get," and in parentheses, "your dad off the couch."
That's
Like
great.
Father's Day related, but it was yeah, awesome ad. So I was just getting ready to. I took a snapshot of it and was going to send it to him because now we're connected.
Cool.
But he already had it and he posted it, so that was pretty cool.
So was that nerve wracking to go to a photo shoot for jump rope and have to like jump live in front of other people?
Yes, jumping in front of people is not too bad, but when you've got three photographers around you and just kind of generating some attention in the park,
Yeah.
a little nerve wracking. And then they were videotaping, and so it's like, okay, I said, well, what do you want me to do? Like, just do whatever you want. So, okay, well, trying to mix up some footwork and stuff like that, and then
Hmm.
there's still video recording, so I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going. And I was, woo, I got
Yeah.
winded because I'm not used to going for like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So that was a little different than my normal workout, but it was a lot of fun. Got to use some different ropes, use the ropeless ropes, which are way more of a workout than people realize.
Yes.
And they have the spin jumper, and
What's the spin jumper?
yeah, well, if I don't know my age group, there used to be this thing that was like a lemon skip it, had a little lemon,
Yeah.
do
What
whatever.
did you put around your ankle and it would go around in a circle?
Yes, they
Yeah.
have a version of that that's like on a wheel, so the wheel goes around. But yeah, so we
Yeah.
played with that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a full day. Met some really great people at Crossrope. Met the owner. Got to jump rope with Jenica the night before.
Nice.
One of the Crossrope athletes.
Wow.
Meet up with her. We jumped in the hotel gym together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
So
a blast.
that is sounds really fun. I know I did a photo shoot a little while ago, and the problem that I had was we met at 6 a.m. to hike up the side of this big hill to do a sunrise photo shoot. And it was 6 a.m. and I had stayed up late and I forgot my headphones and I jumped to music all the time. And so the photographer was ready and I'm looking like I normally have like 4 pair of headphones with me in case,
Hmm.
didn't have one. And so I was like, I hope you don't mind. I'm just putting music on my phone, throw it on the ground and just start doing my thing right in front of her. She was fine with it. It was great. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's funny how I've gained a little bit of confidence with the jumping rope. Like I don't care about jumping in front of people so much anymore. Whereas before, like a few years ago, before I started this, I would have just shriveled and died before I would have done that. You know?
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
situations I feel a little awkward. Like my neighbor next door is building a deck. And
Yeah.
so there's guys out in their backyard like all day building a deck. And I'm like, maybe I'll come around the side of the garage or not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. But most of
Yeah.
the time it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like, aside from this photo shoot and stuff, how has being a cross rope athlete affected your jump rope journey?
I got those ropes pretty early on, and I think it really helped just develop the skill of the jump rope because they're weighted and, having a little, as you know, having a little more weight to your rope kind of helps with the momentum and getting your form down.
Right. Yeah, you get that extra
Sorry.
feedback.
Yeah, so I think that got me started. And plus, they have all of these workouts on their app. So different kinds of, you jump and then you do some body weight exercises. And now they have like dumbbells and kettlebell workouts and all these different options. So it's kind of like if I couldn't like think of something to work on today, I'm like, oh, I'll just find a little workout here
Sure.
and kind of dial in how long you want to go or how difficult you want the session to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, just knock out a workout. So,
That's great.
or fitness jumping. So I kind of feel like,
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy both. So I enjoy the fitness cross rope, weighted rope aspect, and it's kind of more simple moves, right? Because
Sure.
their weighted ropes are kind of stiffer. You can't do all kinds of tricks with them, but you can do enough things with them.
Yeah.
And you can get a really good workout if that's what you're looking for. And then, of course, like the beaded ropes and the PVC ropes are great for tricks and things like that. So I kind
Yeah.
of felt like I live in both worlds.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
do both. So yeah, it's nice variety. Things.
Yeah. I don't have a cross rope yet, but I think you also have a heel rope
I
or
do.
you have used a heel rope, and
Yeah.
the one I have is in similar build to a cross rope.
Yes, it
And
is.
one thing I learned is, yeah, releases are risky.
Yes, and I have the amp handles. I don't know if they're Bluetooth connected, so
I've
they
heard of them.
track
Yeah.
how fast you're going and all these
Yeah.
different data and metrics, which I geek out on. But yeah, that one has a little Bluetooth device in the handle, so I don't dare throw that anymore. Like that's
Yeah.
too expensive to be tossing around
Yeah. I suppose you don't want to break that.
heavier handles. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't critique your releases or anything like that. It just counts your skips, right?
Yeah, it kind of counts your speed, like how fast you're moving, like beats per minute kind of thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that's kind of nice to know, like how fast you're going and how many calories and, those kinds of metrics.
Right.
And then they have a leaderboard too. So if you're just jumping, it's a lot of fun. You can see yourself on the leaderboard. So you're kind of like, oh, 10 more skips. I just passed that person. Okay, I got
Yeah.
15 skips. I passed that person. And it's very motivating, let me tell you.
Yeah. I don't know if my OCD would let me ever quit.
That's exact. Yeah. And for me, it's like, okay, so I passed the next person. Okay, well, now I'm at, you know, uh, let's say 1,400 jumps. Well, I'll just make it around 1,500, right? And then I hit
Yeah.
100. Oh, but I'm like,
So
you know,
close to 2000.
20 minutes. Well, let's just get to 20, whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
it just keeps you going.
Yeah. So you mentioned looking for gyms to skip in. I mean, your videos, I've seen you skip outside. I've seen you skip inside. Why is it in particular that you're looking for a gym to skip in?
I have a really nice basement, so I could
Mhm.
skip there. I can't do a lot of flow stuff that requires up movement because I'm going to hit the ceiling.
Sure.
But honestly, now that I'm retired, I think I'm going to need to get out of the house. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can skip. I have a nice patio. I can skip outside.
Hmm.
And in the basement. But yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm gonna
Totally.
want to get out of the house. So kind of looking for a gym that would have a space,
Yeah.
accommodate that.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes total sense to me. I love skipping outside or
Uh,
at least getting out. Like I work from home. And so I'm here all the time. And so when I can go to the park and lose
yeah,
myself for a few hours, it's the best.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, skipping outside's the best for sure.
I totally love it. Yeah. Even when it's raining or snowing or whatever, I
Yeah.
just dig it. So, Laura, when did you start jumping?
I think actually look this up. I ordered a rope off Facebook in 2020. I think the end of 2020, and
Okay.
it was a terrible little plastic coated wire rope that was too long, had no weight to it. And I really struggled to learn how to jump rope. All I could do is a basic bounce for a long time. But that's kind of what started it. But then I don't know, I don't even know why that actually was fun for me, but it was just to
Hmm.
jump. And so I started seeing ads for different things, jump rope, started learning more, finding like Kathy Jumps and Lauren on Instagram, and then ended up ordering a beaded rope. And so that, kind of changed things, and then ordered Crossrope, and then I just got hooked. And then now I have just crazy number of ropes, but they're all different, right? They're all just a little different.
Yeah. That's actually one of my questions for you is how many ropes? It's right on my screen. How many ropes, Laura?
I don't know. I'd have to go
I don't
count. My
either.
husband would say like 100, but I
Yeah.
really don't have that many.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I was coming on, at a time where jump rope was becoming, kind of popular. And
Hmm.
there were a lot of rope companies coming out, and they were having a lot of giveaways, and they were sending out a lot of free ropes. So I have a lot of ropes that I did not have to pay for.
Sure.
I've been gifted a lot of ropes. So that's a lot of what I have,
Hmm.
as well as some of the cross ropes that I've got.
Hmm.
So yeah, I have a lot. I don't know. I don't want to guess, but
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
a number.
Yeah. I have an embarrassing number as well.
It's in that category of embarrassing.
Yeah. I have been giving them away though.
Been lucky, yeah. I've been given a few away to try to get people interested, and yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Have you noticed over time, like you've developed affinity for certain builds of rope, like not just brand, but like with beaded ropes, I have some that are heavier and some that are lighter and things like that. And
Mhm.
over time, my stable of go-to ropes gets smaller, because I've kind of found what I like.
Yeah, I do prefer a beaded rope that's just a little bit heavier. So yeah, I mean, if I want to call out my favorites, I'd say Coach Chris with thick cord is a favorite.
Yeah.
Have like many colors, a couple different colors. And then recently I just got the Crossrope beaded rope, which is Kathy Jumps beaded.
Yep.
She talks about a lot. I love that one too. The handles are amazing. They're kind of
They're
grippy.
different, aren't they?
Yeah, they're different. And I seem to be able to do releases better with that. Well, and with the Coach Chris too, but
Hmm.
definitely having a little more weight in the beaded rope makes it good for me at least.
Yeah. I ordered, well, I think you heard the episode with Coach Chris. Right after I got off the line with him, I ordered a couple of his ropes. I haven't got his ropes yet, but I'm looking forward to it because I've heard such good things about the weight of them. And,
So you
you
haven't
know,
one before.
no, I haven't tried one before.
Okay. Get
No,
ready.
but
Get ready for your new favorites coming.
yeah.
I predict it.
Yeah. Well, I'm already trying to think of names for them, because I have to name my ropes.
Yes, you do.
So when you started with that less than perfect rope, did you fall in love with it even though it was not your favorite rope? I mean, like, was it enough to get you hooked?
I guess, yeah, it was. And I don't know why really, but yes, I remember distinctly, I had like a plastic acrylic chair thing, for when it's on carpet. So I had that on top of the carpet, and I would just spin that little rope and do nothing but basic bounds.
Hmm.
And I guess I kind of remember trying to go fast, but
Hmm.
that's all I could do for a while. And yeah, I don't know why some things still made that joyful for me, and I would
Yeah.
pick over getting on the elliptical machines.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I did this. I did a very similar thing where I went to a local sporting goods store. I think it's called Dunham's, and I bought a rope, and it was a cheap, very very flimsy, and it wasn't even a wire in the middle. It was more like fishing line,
Uh-huh.
just like a thread. And I broke one of the handles on that pretty quickly, but I had a ball with it until I broke it. It just took a week. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't last so long, some of those, but
I've broken handles on some of the brands that say they have indestructible handles because I'm kind of hard on ropes. How did you start learning when you really were like, hey, I'm going to get good at this? How did you approach learning?
I think I just really focused on Instagram. I was just watching people, watching tutorials, trying to learn things on my own. And that, works a little bit, but you listen to enough people that know what they're doing, and you kind of take in those tips of where to put your arms and all of that. So yeah, I pretty much just learned everything on Instagram, and now I'm discovering there's a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube too, which would have been a lot easier than me just looking at my little phone all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I have taken 2 lessons, which were good. I enjoyed those, but I just never, trying to get it scheduled was a bit of a hassle, but I found that to be very, very good. It was a very good training session, so I'd like
Cool.
to pick those back up, actually.
Now that you're retired, hey, yeah,
I have a lot more freedom to do that now.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So I wanted to ask you about meetups because you've been involved in a few meetups and I've seen pictures. I know you went last year to New York, right?
Yeah.
And met with Kathy and PETA and
Yeah.
Brandy and all sorts of Anna and all sorts of people, right?
Yes, went to New York last year. It was a lot of fun. I mean, well, let me take it back. Not take it back, but let me go back a bit. I actually attended one meetup in, I think it was 2021, and I was a new jumper. I didn't really have many skills, and I didn't know anybody. So I
Okay.
hadn't really connected even on Instagram with most of these. They were all on the West Coast,
Okay.
and they all knew each other. So I show up at this meetup, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any skills, but I was just like floored at how they all just came together and were doing these crazy tricks. So I met Rhea and Eunice and Chasey Boy,
Wow.
Chase and Quincy, several of those guys out there. And
Mhm.
that was a lot of fun. But I will tell you, going to New York was a different experience because I had already connected with a lot of people through Instagram and felt like I knew them, like Brandy and PETA and Doc Jumps and Pam
Yeah.
and so many others. And so going there, I felt like I was meeting up with all my friends.
Right.
And we all like got hotel rooms together. And like Dana, I'd never met her before, and we shared a hotel room.
Yeah.
And like I was sleeping when she came in, and I was up and out of the room before she got up. And it was just kind of a weird thing. But this little jump rope thing connects us. And
Yeah.
you just feel like you just get to know people, and then seeing them in person is just like it's just was incredible. And Kathy jumps. I mean, I was so starstruck meeting her, and she's just amazing. But yeah, so many people. Marie, I've known Maria forever. Marie, we were in a little jump rope group that was shortly after I started as well. So I've been chatting with her for like 4 years. So
Yeah.
to finally meet her was amazing too. So it's great.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. You got to do it sometime.
Yeah, totally. I've actually even sent a message over to Kathy saying, all right, you got to let me know when the next one happens because I will move mountains to get
Yeah.
out there. I think that would be so much fun. There's a introverted part of me that thinks like scary, scary, but also when I see these pictures of everybody jumping together, it just looks like the most fun thing you could ever do. And now when I look at these videos, I know everybody and I'm like, friend, friend, friend.
Exactly. It's totally different when you've already made connections with people and then going to meet in person and you just pick up right where you left off, and it's great. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, that's cool. And are you also planning to go to London in July for the July 5th meetup?
Yes, yes. PETA and I have been scheming on this for probably close to a year. We reached out to Coach Chris and we had set the date with him a long time ago and have been like secretly trying to get people excited about it and coming to it. So yeah, I can't believe I talked my husband into it. I had to make it into like a whole trip. So we're going to be in London for 5 days, and then we're going to go to Amsterdam for 5 days. So it'll be like,
Nice.
European trip, and
That's great.
the meetup. It'll be a day, maybe two, with
That's
everybody
great.
in town. So
I used to work for a Dutch company, and so I used to spend some time in Amsterdam, and it's a really interesting town. I just think it's beautiful.
yeah, I've never been there. But I was in England once for work, but didn't really get a chance to go see anything. So
Yeah,
excited to go. And actually, my brother and sister-in-law are coming too, so it'll be a lot of fun.
cool. That sounds like so much fun. So, one thing you have on your profile that is interesting, and I would like to hear more about, is that you're a cancer survivor. If I'm correct, you're a two-time cancer survivor, right?
That's right. That's right. Two-timer. Yes. It's been 18 years now.
Wow.
Long time. But yes, went through breast cancer treatment twice. And I think, the important message there is number one, I'm like the poster child for early detection. So ladies, get your mammograms.
Mm-hmm.
I had a mammogram at 40 and it was normal. And I went back a year later and it was not normal.
Mm.
So that's why you don't skip those. So you got to
Yeah.
go. And then, do your self exams, make sure you know your body. And, I found a lump 2 years later and it was cancer again. So it's really important. I think it's really important to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're, living a healthy, happy lifestyle.
Mhm.
So I think that also, makes me more motivated to make sure that I'm eating well and exercising and
Mhm.
doing something for my bone density. And jumping is fantastic.
Yeah, no kidding.
It really turned mine around actually after all the treatment that I had for my cancer. So.
Yeah, you had a difference in bone marrow readings, right? Like you actually had testing done?
Yes, yes, they do a bone density test every other year for me, just because my cancer was early on, and because of the type of cancer I had, and I had it twice, I had to have my ovaries removed. So I went through menopause at a very early age, before
Yeah.
I normally would. So your bone density drops as you become postmenopausal.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I ended up having to start treatment because my bone density continued to drop over the years. And I went on treatment and I came off and it kind of went up a little bit and then it was just kind of steady. But once I started jumping rope, though, it continued to climb, which is amazing without any additional treatment. So that's been super helpful. So I definitely will carry that flag, ladies. You need to be jumping,
Yeah.
even if it's just without a rope, just 100 jumps a day
Yeah.
will help your bone density. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That impact, that constant impact, right, is just kind of building things up. I know when I used to do martial arts, this Sifu that I had, this instructor, he had done martial arts since he was a kid, and his bones were like adamantium. I mean, they were just like steel. We would do these, arm things where strike arms together, and it was just like hitting a brick wall, like a really hard brick wall. But he couldn't float in a swimming pool. You put him in a swimming pool, and he was just on the bottom like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations for making it through cancer. I mean, I think your tips are fantastic. And as someone who has relatives that have gone through that kind of thing, I know how horrifying and unsettling and just disconnected you can feel and alone. I mean, even though there's a lot of people that go through this, it's something that you're dealing with yourself. And so I love to see people get through it and then broadcast a positive message. And
Yeah. And I will say, is the jump rope community is amazing, so supportive. I would say the breast cancer community is pretty darn close to that
yeah,
because I have been on discussion boards with ladies that are dealing with metastatic terminal cancer and they are still lifting up the next person, helping them, giving them tips. I mean, it's very similar community. Like, nobody goes through this alone. People are very supportive. So I would say the community there is amazing too, just like the jump rope community.
that's great.
Yeah.
Like with the Jump for Joy 100, how many times have you done challenges yourself?
I've done at least two of the 100-day challenges with PETA, and I've probably done some shorter ones too, 30-day challenges, things like that. So quite a few, I guess, but and even like non-jump rope related. So I've actually kind of started a few like plank challenges and
Oh,
things.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just fun to get other people involved. And at least for me, it helps with accountability. It's
sure.
like, hey, I'm joining this group and we're all doing a plank every day. So I got to do it. Right. You can't,
Yeah.
it keeps you accountable for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no problem getting out and jumping most of the time, but the Jump for Joy 100 challenge, which I participated in, there were a few nights, well, like a podcast production night where I was up late and I was like, I still got to jump. And,
Yeah.
I went and kind of threw the rope a few times and it's like, all right, that was actually jumping. It wasn't much, but
Yeah.
I'm curious about like your jumping happy place. Like if you can just go out and skip and have fun, what does that look like for you? Is there music?
Yeah. Okay. You and I are very similar with this. I am all about the music. I will put on a good song and just skip and just kind of freestyle. And actually a lot of the things I do even on Saturday song, I'll just kind of make it up as I go.
Hmm.
But I love doing that. I just get lost in the music and the beat. And I'm always looking for a new song to jump to. So I always jump with music and it's mostly freestyle.
Yeah.
Really wish actually there's a long list of things I wish I could learn or I would like to learn or I will plan to learn.
Mhm.
But it's always like, "Oh, this is a good song. I'm just gonna skip to the song," right? And then I
Yeah.
don't really ever get to, "Oh, I should look at that tutorial and I should drill this thing that I'm not good at." But just
Yeah.
music kinda takes over and then I just get lost.
I know totally what you mean. There's just something magic in the flowing, isn't there? I mean, it's just that and I've said it here before, like Sarah Marshall said that once she gets the rope going, she's in her force field. And I feel that, like get that force field going. And
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes my brain's saying, hey, you should be working on EB swings or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But right now I'm just gonna rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Totally
Yeah.
understand. Yeah. Just like
Do you
Sarah.
do
Yeah.
you have a curated playlist or do you add songs to playlists for your jumping
Actually, I have a, Apple Music, so I just add things to I just download
favorites?
my list, but my whole music is all for jump rope.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then I'll find a song that was like, okay, this was definitely not for jump rope. But for the most part, I don't even have a separate playlist because pretty much all of my music is something that's got a good beat, somewhere between like 120 and 170 beats a minute.
Yeah. It's a speedy pace, 170 beats a minute.
Yeah, yeah, I get
Yeah.
a little bit there,
Yeah.
not a lot.
I love the speed too.
Yeah,
I've done the same thing. I guess I use Spotify. I have used Apple Music before. And in both cases, I would make playlists for like the week, and I would add songs because the problem I would have is that if I just go with my favorites playlist and I let it play, I don't always announce what it is that I'm skipping in front of it. And so then later on, I'm like, okay, the beat here, I'm dancing to like this. What was that?
I've run into that where I recorded a nice segment I want to use or something, and then I'm like, I have no idea what song it was.
Yeah.
Try to go back through the history to figure out what I was jumping to.
Yeah. I've totally had to do that.
That was the one benefit of actually driving into work was
Mm.
that, I would listen to music and then, oh, I need to download that song. I need to download. So it gave me some music choices
Yeah.
to add in.
Yeah. Yeah. Your music taste is pretty wide too. I think you've commented on some of the heavier music that I've jumped to. I think I did Soundgarden one time and you made a comment about Soundgarden.
I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like old retro 70s stuff. I like, like Soundgarden, some of that 80s, 90s, and,
Yeah.
some of the new stuff. I like kind of electronic music. I listen to country music.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I listen to it all really. And, depending on the beat, even a slow song you double time, you can skip to that too.
Yeah. I love doing that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And it's kind of arty in a way to take a song that's really slow and to try and work a speedy skip into it and make
Yeah.
it look smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever done that, but I try.
Oh, I think you have. Because I know some of your music can be kind of like a little slower and moody,
Hmm.
but you'll skip fast to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of fun trying to find the beat or the half beat or double time it or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. Are you a musician?
No, not a musician, but I was in marching band in high school, but I was in the flag corps, so I twirled the flag. So I kind of
Right.
know about being able to listen to the beat
Yeah.
and learn routines and things like that. But yeah,
Yeah. And you got pre-qualified with the twirling, right?
yeah, I guess, yeah.
So what is the weirdest place that you've ever jumped rope?
Weirdest place. Um, so one year we took a vacation in the summer to a ski resort. And of course, there was no skiing going on, but I did climb up on a ski lift,
Yeah.
the platform up there, and I skipped up there.
That's cool. I bet that was a nice view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice view down the hill.
Yeah. I'm so stuck on these meetups. I just can't wait to go to one of these meetups.
I know. It sounds like maybe they're talking about one this summer. Then I know there was a couple posts lately. I think from Kathy and Joe. They were talking about a meetup, and I'm like, come to the Midwest, right? Because you're not too far, really,
Right.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they need to like do one in the middle because they're always like East Coast or West Coast. So I'm like, let's come to the Midwest. There's a lot of us here.
Yeah. I went to the Chamber of Commerce in Red Wing today because they run the Visit Red Wing Instagram account and all of the, marketing that goes into the tourism stuff.
Hmm.
And I went in because I've tagged them in a few videos and they've posted them as like things to do in Red Wing, skip in the park. And then they show me skipping in the park. So I went in to say, hey, I'd love to do a collaboration with you or something like that. And one of the guys there told me that the Amtrak has a new route that is from Minnesota down to Chicago. It's like a speedy route that goes between Chicago and Minnesota. And
Okay.
it's like, well, Janie's down in Chicago. I know some other folks down in Chicago. Maybe we could. And I mentioned it to the guy, and he's like, hey, maybe we can do a thing where we promote Amtrak and Red Wing and we bring people to Red Wing. I was like, all right, we're going to have to do a Red Wing jump rope meetup at some point.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got plenty of limestone benches for everybody.
Yes. Yeah, because I need one by myself because yeah, I'll knock somebody off. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to do something like that. And certainly, like, I've heard rumors, I don't know that there's anything set in stone yet, of something maybe in the fall in New York. Yeah, that would be great. So what is next for you in jump rope? Like, do you have goals for things that you would like to learn? How do you approach learning new things?
I mean, I guess I have like a mental list, right, of things like
Mhm.
leg crosses are not really my thing, but I kind of want to learn some of them. I've done a couple of them, but I'm not proficient. And then I want to get back to my double unders. So I last year I was really working on them hard. I've kind of laid off for a while, but I'd like to hit. Honestly, I'm going to be 60 this year. I would like to do 60 double unders, but
Oh,
I
you
don't
can
know if I'll
totally do
do it.
that.
I'm still. Last time I tried, I think I was stuck at like a 45.
Oh, you'll do it, Laura. I know it. So that's exciting. When you do double unders, are you always using crossrope?
No, actually, I just use well, I take it back. It is a cross rope, actually. It's a Crossrope Freestyle LE rope. It's a PVC rope, but
Okay.
there's several PVCs that I have that I can do double unders, but for whatever reason, I always pick that, the one
Are
with the
they
handles, but
Are they 4 mil PVC, like thinner PVC, or are they thicker PVC?
I wanna say they're 4 or 5, I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty lightweight.
hmm What do you get out of double unders?
You
It's
know,
a weird question, but
I think it's for me, it's just a internally competitive thing, like, I wanna be able to do 50. I'm still trying to get to 50, right?
yeah.
Um, so it's just kind of a goal, you know?
hmm
And I think I need some help trying to figure out how to turn faster. I need to kind of relax because I get really tense
hmm
and then I get tired. So I need
Yeah.
to figure out how to like relax more and spin the rope a little faster so I don't have to jump so high because I feel like I jump really high.
Yeah.
Clear the rope. So I need to learn how to move those wrists a little faster to get the rope rotating quicker. I
Yeah.
need,
I know
need
what you mean. What's
a-
that?
I need a coach.
You need a coach? Yeah.
Lesson for somebody on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Chris, when I was talking to him, one of his comments was like, learn to let go of the handle, or something to that effect. Basically, like, hold it with less, don't grip the handle, but just hold the handle.
Yeah.
And it's the same sort of principle in martial arts. Like when you watch Bruce Lee, the reason he could move so fast was that guy was relaxed as heck and he could just
Mm,
punch like lightning. But he wasn't tensed up like this punching. He was really, and I think the same thing is with jump rope. If you can be relaxed, you can guide the rope rather than force the rope.
yeah, I heard that tip today. I actually listened to that podcast this morning when I was out walking.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, having a looser grip on the handles, I heard him say that, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to try that with my doubles because I have thought about that. I've heard Kathy Jump say that too. It's just to kind of hold it loosely, and I
hmm
do feel like it makes it more fluid. So yeah, I
hmm
definitely need to apply that to my double unders. See how that works.
Yeah, I have been working on that, and I think I do a decent job. I've been wearing like grip gloves because it helps me hold on to things when I get sweaty because I kind of sweat like a gross person. But
I'll have
yeah,
to do that too. You're getting all kinds of tips. I love it.
I got them at Costco, like this 8 or 10 pack of grip gloves for like $9 or something, and they're basically like gardening gloves that are just breathable on the outside, but the inside has gription.
Yeah, I have some weight training gloves. Maybe I'll try those.
Yeah,
Really. Yeah.
yeah, those would work too. Just something to kind of protect your hands. Honestly, I started wearing them because I was working on releases so much and I just kept whacking the bejesus out of my hand and I'd have bruises along the bottom of my hand, or
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it
those
would give me
still
some protection.
they can leave a mark.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They hit you in the right spot, it's like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice bruise there.
Yeah. Have you drawn blood?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Several times, yeah, mostly on the hand. I think the handle trying to catch a release or something. Seems like I've gotten quite a few little cuts. Yeah, cuts and
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I've got a few on the face too. And lately I've been experimenting a lot more with like wrist wrapping. And I've realized that depending upon how much space you have between the handle and the first bead, you
Uh-huh.
can pinch the living bejesus out of your skin in a wrist wrap. It's not necessarily the most fun,
Yeah,
but all those things remind me I'm alive and that I'm able to skip. And so I try and smile and laugh it off and
that's right.
have fun with it.
Be thankful we can actually move. I don't take that for granted. I honestly have a friend that lives on my walking path through the neighborhood, and she's my age and had a stroke like 4 years ago, and she can't walk the way she used to. And I think about her every day. I walk past
Hmm.
how we take our health for granted, quite honestly. And I'm thankful that I can just walk, and I'm thankful I can jump rope. Uh,
Yeah.
so because you never know when that's going to get taken away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've mentioned this guy before on the podcast, but I actually passed him today while I was driving back from a presentation I was giving. And I think he's 102 and he lives in some assistive housing. And I'll see him walking around town with, a nurse or some sort of caretaker. And he's literally bent over like this, like he
Yeah.
can't look up. And of course, like he's 102, but still, I want to keep my spine flexible and straight, and so I'm going to keep at this jumping until
Yeah.
until my legs fall off, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll be right there with you.
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't plan on quitting.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Do you have any other upcoming challenges or planning big meetups or?
Not really at the moment. I mean, after the 100 day was finished, there's a lot of us that still want to keep jumping every day. So there's another little group chat going on with that. And I
Mhm.
think PETA is organizing another 100-day challenge, I think March of 2026.
Okay.
So of course, I'll be happy to jump on that again,
Mhm.
do that. But I don't really have a lot. I mean, again, I need to kind of get organized and think about what skills I really want to learn now that I have a lot more time.
Mhm.
Now I got no excuse. So I need to dive into some of these tutorials or get a couple lessons and things like that. So definitely a lot of skills. I need to work on my mamba. I kind of
Mm.
have it, but it's just, I don't know. I tend to lose it somewhere after one or two passes. And then
Yeah.
I want to kind of clean that up. So there's a lot of things on my wish list, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's better than my Mamba, Laura. I lose mine after about half a pass, but I've landed a couple, but they're not pretty. But it's fun to make enough progress, learn enough things that you realize, oh, that thing that looked like magic before, that Mamba, how can anyone do that? I'm sure I can do that. It's just going to take a little more time. I just keep showing up. And
Yeah. Just like the make release took me forever. It took me, I mean, I didn't work on it as much as I should have, but I want to say it was a good 9 months to get it.
Mhm.
But then once you get it, you kind of got it. And uh, yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's just, there's never ending list of things to learn. So
Right.
the other thing that I like about jump rope is just, you never really finish. There's always something else to learn and to be able to do. So, or even putting things together.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you're a music lover and
Uh,
there's a never ending well of good music to dance to. And
yeah. I think that somebody said that the other day. It's like somebody saw a reel and said it's almost like dancing. And I'm like, you're right. It's like dancing, but slightly less awkward because I feel kind of awkward when I dance, like at a at
yeah,
a wedding or something. Like dancing with the rope for some reason doesn't feel awkward like that. So,
yeah.
but it is. It's like dancing.
I have never danced at a wedding. I've never danced like that. Yeah, I would totally do it now. Like, but
Probably get
two
out
years ago,
there,
2 years ago, I didn't dance. It just was not something that was on my radar.
well, you just go out there and shuffle your little butt off. You'd be a superstar out there.
Yeah, some guy who I met in the park as I was jumping, and I see him, oftentimes on weekends walking his dog. He said, "I bet you are so fun at a wedding," and I was like, "No, I've never danced at a wedding, but I would love to go to one. I need to just meet someone who's getting married so I can go."
There you go. Go crash a wedding.
Yeah, I probably will. They have there's a nice hotel here in Red Wing called the St. James, and they have a nice view of the Mississippi River and stuff. And I
Mhm.
see they have weddings up there every once in a while. And so sometimes when I'm down in the park skipping, I'm watching them dance up there, and I'll think
Oh, fun.
maybe I should bust in there in my
jump rope clown outfit and see what they think. My shuffling.
That'd be great.
Well, Laura, I just can't thank you enough for the support that you've given me and the support that you give the community. You're just such a bright, smiley, happy person. And it's just so fun to see how much of an effect that you have had in driving that progress and making people feel better about their jump rope. So I would like to thank you on behalf of myself and on behalf of my friends in the community who know and love you for everything that you do to contribute to the jump rope community, because you're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. And, I've gotten that same from other people. So we're just spreading the love around. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
been inspired by so many people people paid me compliments on my reels and lifted me up. And that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to lift the next person.
That's right. Yeah. And it feels great. There's no downside, right?
No, that's right. No downside.
Thank you so much for joining me, Laura. It was so fantastic to talk to you, and I can't wait to meet you in person, hopefully at a meetup before too long.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun talking to you. Anytime anybody wants to talk about jump rope, I'm always available.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. Thank you. And thank you for doing the podcast. I've really enjoyed listening. I have a few episodes to catch up on from the past, but I really enjoy hearing other people's stories and stuff. So keep doing what you're doing because you're really connecting the community too. And I appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to learn more about these people who have such an effect on me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, friends. Thanks for hanging out on the Jump Rope Podcast. We genuinely appreciate your spending your precious jumping recovery time with us. If you had a skip-tastic time, or even if you had a pretty decent time, please smash that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, why not toss us a 5-star rating while you're at it? It really helps new jumpers discover the show. Got friends? Of course you do. Spread the jump rope love. Tell your friends, your family, your neighbor, that rando at the grocery store checkout, anyone who needs more jump rope joy in their life. So until next time, keep jumping, keep laughing, and remember, life's too short not to skip with a smile. Catch you in the next jump.